My husband's ex is my sister-in-law's best friend. She's also friends with my husband. And I don't really mind because I know they are from the same town and they grew up together. My husband and his sister lost both their parents in a car accident 2 years ago. So all they have is each other. I was 6 months pregnant when my sister-in-law lost her job. She couldn't pay her rent anymore and had nowhere to stay. So she moved in with us. Now, since my husband's ex is her best friend, she came to visit her at our house almost every weekend. And like I said before, I was never threatened by her because I knew my husband was faithful and what he had with her was in the past. Now, 2 months after my sister-in-law moved in, my husband told me his ex came over one weekend and tried to seduce him. He didn't give in to her and he wanted me to know what had happened. I guess his ex thought I was pregnant and bloated, so it would be easier to seduce him in my condition. I got very angry and I wanted to confront her, but my husband told me not to and that he has handled everything. He said she will never try that with him again. I told him I never wanted to see her in our house again. I told my sister-in-law what had happened later that night. And I couldn't believe my ears when she told me it was not a big deal. She told me she was soulmates with her best friend and something like this cannot tear them apart. I was shocked to hear this from her. I told her I don't care about her relationship with my husband's ex. I just don't want to see her in my house again. She just chuckled and went to her room. 2 weeks after this conversation, I came back home to see my sister-in-law with my husband's ex in the living room together. I immediately asked my husband's ex to get out. But my sister-in-law objected and said if I sack her best friend, she would also leave the house. So I asked her to pack her things and leave my house. I only had a few weeks to my due date, and I didn't want anything to stress me out. My husband is her only family, and I feel guilty for throwing her out. Am I the asshole? This follower needs your opinions, babes. Please drop some below.